So with the summer event arriving well within the next 24 hours, Gaijin has quietly introduced the reward vehicles as part of a test format alongside the BR changes, which unfortunately ruins, or at least sort of ruins, my upcoming video release that was supposed to drop in place of this one. But hey, since we're all here, let's go ahead and take an early look at all of the upcoming reward vehicles in a test format. Now, please keep in mind, these vehicles are not complete. And unfortunately, I will not be able to show them to you in a spaded manner, if that makes sense. Meaning that everything you're gonna be seeing today, please take it with a grain of salt, because Gaijin has a habit of fixing these and changing these before they actually release to the public in about a week or so from the time of this video's, well, recording and even publishing. But if you are wanting to analyze and drive these vehicles around for yourself, I will be including the links down below in the description. All you have to do is just click on them, make sure you're logged into Gaijin, and it should open these vehicles up in the hangar in the exact same way that you're going to be watching them in today's video. So that being said, let's start off from the very bottom with the Patria P204. I can't say the name, so if you're wanting me to butcher it and just make your ears bleed, go right on ahead. I'll do it during my live stream or something, which is going to be happening shortly after this video drops. We have a battle rating 1.7 light wheeled tank. Not bad, 5.2 seconds. Could be a bit better. I'm not going to show the internals, unfortunately, at least for the engines and whatnot, because this vehicle can't be spaded, at least from the time that you are watching this. Panzergranat 39, and it has a PCR. At 1.7, it's actually not that bad. 80 millimeters ain't bad. 72 kilometers an hour, which is pretty good. Now, this is the early one you'll be getting at around the forget how many markers distinction you have to get, but it's in the information, okay? And next up, we have the final reward vehicle for the ground part of the event, the Finnish CT CV 105 HP. 105 HP or horsepower? I don't really know. Of course, it's neither, and we'll get the names correct for that a little bit later down the line, okay? But this thing, battle rating 10.0, 5 seconds of reload, which isn't bad. Now, if you're used to the Striker platform or the French premium wheeled vehicle, I know you know what I'm talking about, whose name I completely forgot. This thing is going to feel right at home with you. But here's the thing, it is tall, it is really big, and of course it has almost no armor, which is a big shame, but it kind of is what it is for wheeled vehicles. You do get thermal sights. I don't know what gen thermal sights. I can probably find that out a little bit later. I assume it's going to be either gen 1 or gen 2s. You don't get a commander thermal sight, unfortunately. You do get a laser warning system, laser rangefinder paired, DM33105, DM23, and you're firing it again every 5 seconds. So looking at the inside of the vehicle, it's spacious, it's very roomy. But here's the problem though, look at all that ammunition in the back right here. Easy way to kill this vehicle. So I would advise carrying around maybe 10 to 15, maybe 18 rounds at the very most, as you do get, of course, 10 rounds to the first stage ammo stowage, 11 if you're counting the one in the tube. And as expected, it's stabilized, but vertical targeting is bad, 4.5 degrees. It's going to be a little bit better when the vehicle drops, but there it is. 8 to 12 times gunner sight, 2.5 to 10 times commander sights. Commander can likely operate the weapon, which it can. Very nice internals, by the way. I really dig it. All right, so let's go over to the next one. And next up, we have the Su-25BM, or as I would like to call it, the Bad Manners. If you play Dead by Daylight, you would know exactly what I mean by that. Now, Gaijin, for some reason, has decided to give us the 5th Su-25 in the game. Why? I have no idea, to be honest, but it's okay though. We're only sitting with 2 A10s, and they happen to be the earliest versions of them. But hey, that's just me being an American and very much biased against that. So, or for that anyways. Taking a look at the ordnance we have right here. Let's take a look at this instead. Here's the cool thing. You don't get Vickers missiles. I was kind of hoping it wouldn't. This may change. They might introduce it a little bit later down the line, maybe either after its initial release to the public or at some point during the testing of this. Now, here is the big thing, the R-73 missiles. These are by no means new. Gaijin did introduce this a couple of updates ago with the MiG-29, but I guess they found it to be a little bit too broken and removed it and replaced it with the R-60Ms. But here, Gaijin is bringing in the very first aircraft to feature this. 40G overload. If you play with the Pythons found on the Israeli F-16, as well as I think the PL-8s found on the Chinese top tier aircraft whose name I forget as well. This should feel very much the same, I think. I'm not a pilot here, okay? So don't take my word for it, or at least take it with a grain of salt. And then of course you have TV guided bombs, which is pretty interesting. I personally don't like using these anyway. You get the KH-29Ts, which are brilliant. The ML, or excuse me, the 29Ls and the 25MLs, which, you know, this is what you would expect from an Su-25, just with R-73s. Can you get 4 of them? I have no idea if you can or cannot. I can't tell right now. But I'll admit, it's kind of disappointing that Gaijin is bringing in, you know, newer missiles that everyone has been requesting for to the event vehicle, which kind of entices you to grind for this thing. But then again, they're not really going to serve too much of a purpose because this thing is not that good in ARB, at least from what I've been told. And then at last, we have the HMS Renown. Now, I get that I like to take a dump on naval on this channel at least, but this vehicle actually has me very excited. It's at least to my knowledge, and please don't quote me on this because I am very inexperienced when it comes to naval as a whole. A battle cruiser, but with a ton of guns, a lot of anti-air, and oh man, just look at that firepower. Right? They're bringing in, I think, the sister ship someone mentioned probably in the upcoming update, as opposed to keeping one of the best vessels for the British as part of the event, which Gaijin has a habit of doing, where they bring in a certain version of it and then they'll bring us the slightly better one or a different one in the following update to complement these. Now, I would go more into detail about this, but in truth, I am not the right person for it. I think Napalm Rat is probably the best person to do this. He's very much a naval player nowadays, and he's very good at it too. But that's it. That's all you're getting for when it comes to the Summer Quest vehicles. Now, I hope you guys did enjoy this video, of course, and please take everything with a grain of salt. I don't want to hear you guys a little bit later on saying, oh, Justin, they introduced this and that, and you didn't talk about it, etc. Hell, by the time this video gets published, they might change something with it. Who knows? But I am very curious on your take as a player. What do you think about the Summer Extreme? Do you believe these vehicles are worthwhile? Are you going to be attending this grind? I know I will. Feel free to drop your opinions down below in the comments section. And I know a lot of people aren't really too happy about this event, so please try to keep things just a little bit civil. But you know what? No, let loose. If you don't like this update, if you don't like this summer event, let me know in your own words. And don't sugarcoat anything. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. If you want to see this gameplay live, by the time you're watching this, I think I will be live over on Twitch. Link to everything is down below in the description, or at least a couple hours from the time you're watching this anyways. And if you want to support me more as a creator, don't forget to use my 3% discount link as per usual, as it does pay me in actual cash. You actually save money, I get paid. What's not to love? But I will see you not only in the next video or even the streams, but most certainly in the Summer Extreme events. I'll see you next time.